Season 4, Episode 4. What's the title of this podcast?
Don't let your urgency become my emergency.
Emergency.
It's Al and Elondius.
There's so much in my mind. What if you run out of time? Take it one step at a time. So many mountains to climb. I've been obsessed to grind, so I be one of a kind. So the car never declines. So the car never declines. There's so much in my mind. What if you run out of time? Take it one step at a time. So many mountains to climb. I've been obsessed to grind, so I be one of a kind. So the car never declines. So the car never declines.
It's Al and Elondius. Got to be more careful.
Yeah,
We got a new intro.
we got a new intro.
I like that.
Who is that?
Who is it? Tell
Who is
everybody. Tell America who that is.
That is Doral, a.k.a. Thanos,
Thanos.
a.k.a. the boy downstairs.
Living in his parents' basement.
Yeah, it's the boy downstairs. So, how was your week?
The week was pretty good.
Week is pretty good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we had 2 snow days.
2 snow days. They
But-
got us. They got
but-
us. Yeah.
I still work.
You work from home.
I work
Right.
from home.
Right, but let me tell you something. The first day, the snow, when I went out and shoveled,
Mm-hmm.
did it wrong, and by the time I finished, it was back down. It had already covered the sidewalk again.
Yeah. It didn't take no longer than 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, but that second day,
Mm-hmm.
it got me.
It did.
My back was hurting.
Mm-hmm.
I came in the garage and just sat out there and marveled at how beautiful the snow was.
Was the snow heavier the second day than it was the first day?
It was really light the first day because it wasn't ice.
Right.
It
It was a
was-
lot of snow, but it wasn't that heavy
It
snow.
was
It was
that-
kind of fluffy,
Yeah, it
right?
was that pretty light snow.
Mm-hmm.
And for anybody that saw the post that I put on Facebook with the snow up, yes, it does that all the way until
May.
May. First May?
Yeah.
Wow.
Last year and the year before that, we was getting snow in May.
Well, okay.
Mm.
Okay. Get
We're
a
just waiting for Pikes Peak to clear.
little Pikes Peak. You always say that. Once
For-
there's
Yes. So let me explain that.
okay.
So Pikes Peak is the highest elevation in our area that we can see.
Right.
So you know that the winter is done when the top of Pikes Peak doesn't have any snow on it.
Okay. Everybody remember that.
Yes. As soon as the snow melt off of Pikes Peak off the top, then we're good. No more
This-
snow for the season.
This has been a fun fact presented to you by.
It's Al and Elondius. Got to be more careful.
All right. So our topic
Mm-hmm.
today is your urgency is not my emergency.
That's right.
This is something that we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Break it down. What does that mean?
It means basically just because something is urgent for you doesn't mean that it's an emergency for me.
Right. I'm not jumping out of the window like
Right.
and doing crazy stuff, or I'm in a rush. I gotta
Right.
do this. No,
No.
bro. It don't work like that.
Right. Well, it depends.
It depends.
It depends. There's always circumstances and conditions that might make your urgency my emergency. But normally, your urgency.
Well, let's talk about some of those conditions that might make your urgency mine.
Okay. Well, you know me. I always got to go back to my military days,
Let's
right?
do it.
So I was a supply sergeant.
Mm-hmm.
For those of y'all who don't know, I knew listeners. So America, I was a supply sergeant 92 Yankee in the United States Army.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so if something comes up, like say for instance, the first sergeant tell the platoon sergeant, okay, this just came down the pipe.
Right.
We need to get this done.
Right.
And then that platoon sergeant comes to me and say, Sergeant Rose, first sergeant just told me that it came down from brigade that we got to do this, this, and that. I need you to get this for me
Right.
by this time.
Right.
Now, because it was something that was last minute, now your urgency is my emergency.
Right.
So it's
a part of the job.
Right.
Right.
But if it's something that you knew about 2 months ago and you knew it had to be done in 2 days, and then you come to me and you're like, oh, Sergeant Rose, I need you to do this because I got to get this done. It has to be done by COB tomorrow. Because
they were procrastinating.
Whatever, procrastinating, taking their time, being selfish, whatever the case may be. Then it's not an emergency on my part.
So hold your horses. Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. I mean, I feel that way too. I mean, I've come across situations in my life where people, their urgency, whether it be to get somewhere in life, whether they want to see their idea happen ASAP, or whatever the case may be. And then when they present it to me, it's a hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Right, but that's not fair.
It's not fair. It's not fair at all. I mean, because I'm sitting there thinking, I really don't give a right? I got my own stuff that I'm worrying about and I'm doing, and I don't have time to be like
right, but
making the charge for your stuff.
But because you are who you are, and I know I am who I am, meaning
you try
that we have empathy and we actually care about other people and whatever. I'm sitting here saying it's not an emergency on my part, but I'm more than likely 95% of the time going to try to make it happen for that person.
You try.
Yeah, I go out of my way.
You try. I mean, I try. And the reason this is a subject is because I don't know if I've fully conquered it yet. Like, we were going to do a podcast on It's Okay to Say No. You're right. It is okay to say no sometimes, like, and not take on that. Because one of the things that has happened to me before is their urgency became my emergency. I okayed it. And now there's hard feelings because somewhere during that whole thing, I fall out of time.
Right.
And now they're like, yo, you told me.
Well, you already know.
Yeah.
That me trying has gotten me in trouble at work.
Yeah. Trying to help people.
I can't even tell you how many times my supervisor has said to me, it's okay to say no. You can't say yes to everybody.
Right.
And then I say, well, I just, they reached out to me. I want to help them, blah, blah, blah. And then my supervisor would be like, Denise, you can't. You just can't do it all the time.
You can't.
You can't. What people say, you can't help everybody.
Right.
But help the ones that you can and do it to the best of your ability.
Right. If you're going to help, you do it. Right. You won't have to do something. And
that's what happens when it becomes the emergency. An emergency for you. Sometimes you do have to do it, and it's not the best job that you could have done if you had only been given the right amount of time to get it done.
And the world is so funny because sometimes, I get my moments where I look at people on the other side of that, and I say to myself, do they realize what they're doing? No, this is way, way out of bounds. Like when someone asks you to do something and they're making it your emergency.
Right.
Because they're urgent. We talked about that already. But the thing is, sometimes you ever look at people, you know how dogs turn their head sideways and go, do you realize what you're doing right now?
Exactly. Do you even realize what you're asking of me?
Right. I often wonder that. Like, I just said something to you. We was in the garage. Like, I think I'm at that age where the whys don't really matter to me.
I can understand that.
Yeah, trying to figure out, like, what's wrong with you? Are you
right.
I don't really do that. I'm not saying that my way is the best way. It might not fit everybody, but I am very good at shutting it down.
Okay.
I mean, you won't hear a word from me.
I think I'm about the same.
Yeah.
Right. So, but do you think that when people push their urgency off on you,
Hmm.
that are they thinking about you?
No, of course not.
It's all about them.
Now it might be some smoke screens and some trickery going on where they'll tell you like this might benefit you,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm trying to do this so we. No, because of the inception of that idea, I'm unsure if you were actually thinking
Thinking
about
about
me.
me.
Right. So again, the whys,
Right.
no, I ain't getting into that.
Right. Because they be trying to blow smoke up your
Up your ass.
booty.
Up your
Up your
ass.
booty.
Okay. Well, you say booty, I say ass.
They be trying to blow it, be trying to make it seem that they are concerned about you and they want to put you on, or they want to put you in a better position
don't.
or whatever, just so that you can do what they want you to do.
Mhm.
And
They-
then when you do it,
Yeah.
where they at?
They
You don't
take
hear
it
you don't
and-
hear from 'em until
Yeah.
they want something else
Yeah.
from you.
Yeah. Yeah. See, simply put,
Mm-hmm.
today for dinner we had beef stew.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So simply put, they're trying to put beef stew on their table. Right. And I'm trying to put beef stew on my
Mhm.
table. This is for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Especially if I didn't come to that person or said person and yo, I need you to do this for me.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say that,
Mhm.
right? You follow what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So yeah, the whys and stuff, I don't get into it anymore. I just know that what you are doing is making me feel a certain type of way or
Mhm.
uncomfortable.
Mhm.
So adios.
Mm.
And that might not be the best way to do it. Like you always hearing people saying, communication and talk to people. But I personally feel that the communication thing is for people that mean something, that are really close.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for everybody. Some people it's okay to just close the door and walk away. Walk off the porch, walk across the grass, and don't look back. Walk off into the sunset.
Okay. Walk off into the sunset.
I think it'll be a better outcome.
Okay.
Because and we've talked about this on prior shows, with people defending their positions,
Right.
it can get heated. Right?
It can.
And in this situation,
Mm-hmm.
not saying all the time, but in this situation, I'm never going to see it your way.
Mhm.
So we'll be there all day.
Right.
So let me help you out.
Right.
Porch, grass, sunset. And you'll never see me again.
Never see me again.
Never see you again.
Never to be seen again.
But there are, situations where it is where you just gotta grind it out. 'Cause
Right.
it's either your job or you might have a relationship with
Mhm.
someone. Like if you came to me and you said, I don't know, I forgot to do something. And I was like, yo, we got to get this done.
Mhm.
I have to deal with that.
Right.
Right. But that's you.
Yeah.
Not too many other people can get that.
Right.
Am I making sense here?
Yeah,
Because you looking
yeah.
at me like, what?
No. I was just thinking in my head because I'm that B.
The B?
Mm-hmm.
What's the B?
You know that B that start with a B, end with a H.
Oh, I got a little, I'm thrown off.
I'm her.
Because you know what I was sitting here thinking? I'm
What?
like, yeah, she talking about procrastinator. But it don't start with a B. Okay, all right, well,
And
whatever.
I'm that too, though.
All right, because, I'll sit in my dream world.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know if it's so much a
That's
dream
dream
world.
for me.
Well, sometimes it's a dream world for me, and other times it's just that my mind is all over the place, like a dog that's in the car looking out, and every time it sees a tree, it's tree.
You just be lost.
My mind be
Yeah.
everywhere. It goes
Yeah.
from one thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect example. This morning, I'm laying in the bed because for some reason, I woke up around about 6 o'clock and I tried to go back to sleep and it didn't happen.
Right.
So I'm laying in the bed. I thought about wall Pilates. I thought about, I need to go buy a yoga mat. I thought about, I gotta get this beef stew on. So as soon as I get up, I'm gonna start browning the meat.
Right.
Get it in the crock pot. Blah blah
Right.
blah.
Right.
And it's like, what?
You just overloaded.
Right. And then, girl, what are you
Right.
thinking about?
Right.
And then I started thinking about work tomorrow.
I saw
It's just crazy.
a piece of a stand up with Wanda Sykes, and she was talking about women actually, but she was talking about how people get ready to go to bed at night, and then they'll say, you know what, tomorrow that chick, I'm gonna get her straight because she said this to me, and then next thing you know, oh man, I gotta take out my purple jacket so I can wear that tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and then you go, you know what, I'm gonna start, I think I'm gonna start doing Pilates, and it just keep going and
Right.
going and going.
Even when we were sitting outside in the garage, you was talking about one thing, and I come out of the blue said, when
Yep.
we put this tent up, we should film it.
Oh man,
You
it
was
threw
like,
me off.
you was like, what?
What? It's something before that. I was thinking something. And
Right.
I was like, what was I just saying? But that's beside the point. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, it's like, people making their urgency your emergency is not a cool thing to do.
It's unfair.
You should be. We did a podcast before about having empathy. We did a podcast, same podcast, empathy, respect, grace,
Humility.
humility, and I forgot what the fifth one was. And it's mine. That's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
But I forgot what the fifth one was. But it's all these words is basically saying, put yourself in someone else's shoes
Right.
before you go throwing stuff out there.
Yeah.
And if the pressures of life, you can't pay your rent, money ain't coming in, and all that. I'll use you for an example. You ain't have nothing to do with that. And
Mm-mm.
Londius didn't.
Mm-mm.
So me, every time I speak to you being frustrated,
Mhm.
or no, it's tiring.
It is.
And it's going to make me walk across the porch, across the grass, and off into the sunset.
Never to be seen again.
So never to be seen again. So at the end of the day, your urgency is not my emergency.
Unless
Let's-
it's absolutely an
Yeah.
emergency.
Yeah. Let's say this together so
Okay.
people can hear it.
Your
Your urgency is not my emergency.
emergency.
And like the great Uncle Alfred Lee Martin would say,
What you eat,
don't make me
there we go.
All right. 8121 Talk.
Season
Season 4,
4,
episode 4.
4.
We out of here. Are
We
we
out.
out of here? Are we
Yeah.
out of here?
We out.
There's so much in my mind. What if you run out of time? Take it one step at a time. So many mountains to climb. I've been obsessed to grind, so I be one of a kind. So the car never declines. So the car never declines. There's so much in my mind. What if you run out of time? Take it one step at a time. So many mountains to climb. I've been obsessed to grind, so I be one of a kind. So the car never declines. So the car never declines.